together?
Well, it's certainly coming together. There's no doubt about that. I'm so proud. I'm so thankful for all the incredible people bringing it to reality. The amount of hard work, the commitment, to not cutting corners here in kind of the 11th hour, and I'm now starting to feel that energy about getting our fans in here to live and feel and breathe it themselves.
As we've walked around, there's so many details. Every single door handle to ceiling to wall has a piece of history. Talk about just the intention behind everything.
A real point of pride, I think, for everybody involved. The architects, Turner, HNTB, multi-studio. There's a personal story, I think, that was written with this venue in the thoughtfulness, talking about our history, talking about the things that make the University of Kansas unique and special. And I think for all of us, Chancellor all the way through, there was that deeply embedded commitment to that. And so we're proud of the big picture, and I think we're equally proud of the finer details as well.
Travis, where did the storytelling component come from? You guys brainstormed 100 times, 1,000 times, whatever it was. Yeah. Do you remember whose idea, or was it a collective idea, or why was that?
A lot of different entities. So I mean, I could name individuals. I probably won't do that at the risk of missing so many great people. But truly, again, you think about multi-studio, HNTB, our campus leadership and partners, people who have an incredible grasping of where this all began, right? You got to go back to 1921 and open the original memorial. The journey that we've had, the components, again, that make KU special. We wanted to embrace that. And then I would say there are some members of our staff that gave of themselves every moment, every day that they possibly could, prioritize this thing in the way that they should, of course, to make sure that it was personal to Jayhawks.
What is your favorite part?
That I haven't gotten an answer. Let me get back to you after this weekend.
Well,
I'm still waiting to experience that.
A moment like this, what does this mean for the university and the football program?
It's a really tangible indication of how far the program's come. I mean, I think, whether you talk about facilities or physical manifests of things, there's a correlation to where you were in the past. And I'll use this tunnel example in the past. Our team entered from Old Anderson, about 40 yards from the south end zone. They'd come out of a door. We'd have to do cattle guards to, kind of cordon them off. Then we had to deal with pedestrian traffic flow, and then we had a fake tunnel for the guys to walk out of it. I think, unfortunately, that was, a depiction of where we were for all too long. And now you think about the tunnel entrance direct from their locker room with lighting and cameras and audio and all the things that a program of this magnitude deserves. And I think that, to me, really depicts how far Kansas football has come. And here's the other thing I'd say about that unfinished east side, to me, is a reminder that we've got work to do, both obviously in the facility, but certainly as we think about this football program. We're excited about that.
Multiple different viewpoints. Do you have a favorite in the stadium?
I have a lot of favorites, and the one I've highlighted, and I'll highlight it again today, is I think the vantage point from due north is fantastic. I mean, even preferably I'm almost up, right in that upper area of the north. I think you're really taking this thing in from a really cool lens. You're seeing the play develop differently. You're looking up at the video board, of course, and up to the hill in the Campanile. So I think that's pretty cool.
Is it still surreal when you step outside and just see how far the stadium's come? Game day is just inching away.
It is, absolutely, unequivocally. I have no idea how I'm going to feel on Saturday other than some butterflies and a lot of excitement. I don't know what I'm going to do on Saturday. I'll probably just wander around and feel lost, but also take it in. And so I think up until we play games and kind of get through the kinks and get our guys, our team, and our fans to experience, will it a little bit start to sink in for many of us.
What is one thing that you would like every fan to know? Like, oh, look at this detail or look at that. Is there one thing that...
No, I mean, I think, I've said this at some other point, I really think there's like this scavenger hunt notion that, I really encourage our people to come and explore. If you're sitting on, say, the lower, you should maybe take a visit up to that upper concourse and vice versa. You should walk that north. You should look at the different views up the hill. You should look at the views out to the stadium, and then certainly embrace the storytelling and the historical aspects, I think, that really shine through throughout the venue.
Have you had any cool moments of gratitude from the players where you saw them kind of see it, or they maybe said something to you or anything like that?
I mean, over and over, to be honest. I think we felt that at KU ever since Coach Leipold and the staff got here. that we felt a sense of gratitude from the guys that have graduated, that will have played in obviously this venue certainly, and those that have been here for the previous venue to Kansas City last year and to now the new booth. They've been awesome. The Chancellor and I spoke to the team last week, and of course, Coach Leipold started off by just talking about the university-wide commitment, and that's really the story. This is a university-wide commitment, not just to football, not just to athletics, but to a level of excellence that I think you can't really otherwise bring to life, and you could feel the gratitude from every single one of our football student athletes.
You guys had select a seat where fans were able to come in and sort of see where they might want to have their seats.
Yeah.
What sort of feedback did you get from them?
Oh gosh, countless positive reaffirmations. Just job well done, exceeded expectations, can't wait for Saturday. I'm sure somebody's getting some critical lens. I haven't heard them. I imagine I'll hear some of that Saturday, but we are just not hearing it. Our people who've seen, felt it, sat in their seats, been to their premium suite or whatever it might have been, are just raving. They're over the moon. You talk about gratitude. Our fans and our donors have a lot of gratitude too, because they've lived through a very different version of Kansas football and certainly a very different version of this particular venue.
And then creating a home field advantage. I know that's obviously a big impact of this. How do you think that's going to play out this fall?
Oh, it's going to be huge. I mean, last year was great. No excuses. We had great crowds, great environments at both Children's Mercy and at Arrowhead, of course. But there's something about being home. And, KU is permanently and thankfully forever tethered to the city of Lawrence. And so I think so much of the character around game day, the fact that we're super uniquely situated at the bottom of the hill, you got campus above, you got a neighborhood surrounding you otherwise. I think that's part of the charm and part of the character of game day in Lawrence, Kansas. And of course, credit to, again, the architects and the folks that brought this thing together, that the steepness and the grade of the west and also the north, we're going to get a really cool preview of just how well this venue keeps sound in. And when we have a chance to finish out that east, I think we're going to have created what we think will be one of the best home field environments, home field advantages in the country.
Do we have a timeline for the second phase?
Working on it. We're excited. We feel we've got a ton of wind in our sails. Based on a couple announcements last week, the City of Lawrence's continued approval of the municipal incentives that are going to be a really good spark for the project, in particular the Gateway of the East. Mr. Booth's remarkable donation, and the energy, the confidence that gives us moving into phase two. There's still work to be done. You think about design, you think about having a schedule really refined, but the objective's been stated. We want to demo that east side after the season, and we want to get moving on construction. Of course, when things are finished and all that is still kind of in flux at this point.
And then in the era of NIL, how does opening a facility like this kind of impact recruiting and player acquisition and that stuff?
Well, you can talk all you want about a vision. You can talk all you want about a commitment, right? Anytime you're recruiting a student athlete, doesn't matter what sport it is, but I think certainly in the sport of football, if you talk a game and then a prospect shows up and sees and feels something very different, that disconnect just doesn't hit the mark. And we've been able to talk about vision. We've shown renderings, we've shown videos, in fact, for the last 2+ years, I imagine. And that's certainly provided a boost, I think, in the recruiting space. But now, unequivocally, it cannot be questioned whether University of Kansas is all in on football, and this facility is an incredibly strong statement around that.